How are we doing today, guys? I hope you've been doing well lately. So clearly, I'm not in my usual space. I'm actually out in Arizona right now visiting my girlfriend. So excuse the different background. So I just wanted to make a real short video about this past week and a couple comments on it. So I want to start out with the teacher that blasted, very disrespectfully, might add, Barbara Bush right after her passing, the professor from Fresno State. And I'm actually a Bulldog fan. That I don't go there because my school doesn't have a football team. So I'm used to not winning in that area. Anyways, so her name was Randa Jarrar, I believe, Randa Jarrar. And she said things such as that Barbara Bush was an amazing racist and that she raised a war criminal. These are obviously just very disrespectful, very hurtful to the Bush family. And you might not like the Bush family in the sense of their political dynasty. You might not, like the what the father did or what the son did. I know I disagreed with a lot of stuff that they both did, and I think the father really screwed up a lot of stuff. But you know what? In the end, you need to pay respect to those you might not like those presidents, but at least pay respect to their wives. Respect the office. You might not like Trump, but respect the office. You might not have liked Obama, but respect the office. And I've seen some hurtful stuff about Obama's wife as well, and that wasn't right. Wasn't right either. So we need to be respectful towards that. But the point I'm trying to get more towards at is this professor itself. This stuff happens all the time. Now maybe it's not as public as this. It doesn't go as public as this, just because this was a major event. Barbara Bush dying. She was really did some good work when it came to literacy for kids, and really really pushed the education for kids, and try to show how important that really was. Which just did some great work in her life, and was truly just a great mother of the house, so to speak, both in and outside of the White House. And as we've seen, had a great relationship with her husband. So that might be a reason why that this is kind of this has exploded. But the main point is that we have professors here, and this professor also after saying this said that she's not going to get fired because she has tenure. Well, that kind of shows a problem with tenure. If a teacher feels like they're so secure in their job that they can come out and just say crap like this, then probably this is another argument against tenure. I don't agree with tenure, because tenure now I believe gives a lot of people the ability to be lazy, and to come to that logical conclusion that they can now be lazier on the job and teach more of their biasness than the actual fact. And I think that's wrong. And I'm not saying every teacher. I think a lot of people that teach, or even most, want to teach the truth. But also a lot of those people that are teaching the truth have been taught liberal lies and leftist lies throughout the years that they think it's truth, and they teach it that way, and it's not. And also we can go down to liberal publishers that are supplying our schools with textbooks and all across the line. So these words are disgusting by this teacher. Do I think she has the right to say it? Yes, of course she has the right to say it. But also that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with consequences, because as we know, just because you have the right to do something doesn't make it right to do. And as we can see, Fresno State is actually possibly losing donations from longtime donors, and also a lot of people are second guessing themselves about applying to Fresno State. I wouldn't want to apply to, or maybe actually I would, just to hopefully get this teacher and combat her in the classroom, because I purposely did that with a couple of my classes for the past few semesters. I took teachers that I knew were more left, so I could debate them and have more material for the show, but also just so I could learn more as well. You need to learn to know you need to know the opposition more, and it keeps your friends close and your enemies closer. Godfather, great movie. So I want to touch on that for a second, and then also want to touch real quick on the DNC suing Trump, and Trump, Russia, and WikiLeaks, I believe, because they basically took away the right of the Americans to vote freely and independently. Okay, this is utter nonsense and utter crap. As we saw during the during the campaign, the DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and the Clinton campaign all colluded together, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz was part of the DNC, but they colluded together in order to screw Bernie Sanders, who legitimately had a good run to actually get the DNC nomination, and probably would have won the DNC nomination. I think he would have won the presidency. No, I don't. I think he was way too far left out there, especially after Trump has come into office. We see a more conservative wave coming, especially with younger adults such as me, or just in college, or in high school with Kyle Kashuv and people like that. So we see this conservative wave. So I don't think he would have won anyways, especially not now. Anyways, so I think this is obviously just a big political stunt. Even CNN is calling it a political stunt and clowning the DNC for it. This is really just the last ditch ever. I mean, the Republicans this last month had, I think, over $13 million in donations, which is a new record high for them. We see the left losing, and this is great. This is awesome. But what we need to learn is we need to not be sore winners in the sense, and we're not even winning in the sense of like the left will never win again. Okay, as we see throughout history, the Democrats will take over at some point, which is really going to suck. Now, hopefully, they'll never take over every house again, and hopefully, if the Republicans lose it, or once they lose it, perhaps they will never, lose every house again, or every chamber, or anything like that. Hopefully, not every branch. But good thing with Trump, and although I disagree with Gorsuch's last decision on the ambiguity of deporting illegal aliens who I believe have a criminal record, I highly disagree with him. He said it was too ambiguous on it. I think that was totally wrong. I think the United States has the right to do that as a nation, as a sovereign nation. Having said that, appointees like Gorsuch, and hopefully we'll get another one or maybe even two before Trump was done. If it goes 8 years, we definitely will. Then we're really going to see a big conservative backlash for a long time. That's going to be really, really great. If we could get a over-the-top conservative Supreme Court, we can really see the walking back of a lot of progressive policies and progressive statutes that have been passed throughout the years and that haven't been repealed or even combated that well, I think, by perhaps the Bushes when they were in the presidency. So I think one last point I want to say, the comments made by this professor by Jarrar, the comments made by her really just show the divide in our country right now, that we feel it's okay on the right and on the left, and more so from the left that I see, and I don't mean to say that biasly, just from what I see. We really see just it's okay to now demean those that we disagree with. Look, I didn't like Obama. I thought he was the worst president in history next to Carter. Okay, didn't like him at all. But now, am I going to try to demean him as a human, or am I going? I mean, I might think he's an idiot, and I'll probably call him that a few times and whatever else. But does this now mean that I'm going to try to be like evil towards him, or try to or think that it's okay to basically put down anyone that I disagree with? No, I don't think that's okay at all. Always treat people with respect. And when you're debating or when you're trying to prove a point, when you're trying to combat a point of the left, you need to remember to always be respectful. That's how you win. That's how you reach people. Remember, your goal is not to change everyone's mind. It's not to change the person you're debating's mind. It's your point is to make people think for themselves. And so we have professors like this that want people to think in a certain way, and clearly they don't care because they have tenure, which I think actually just opens up a whole nother argument when it comes to unions as well, because a lot of people think that when they get into union, they cannot be lazy. I'm very much against unions for many reasons, that being one of them. So folks, just another example to combat your teachers. If I had her as a teacher and she said something even remotely like this in front of me, that I would be combating her and I would be digging into her every freaking day. Okay, we can't let them get away with this. We need to show them that we have voices. We need to show them we're not alone. And we need to show them that we're not willing to just sit here and let them push down leftist propaganda down the throat and let them be just blatantly disrespectful like this. And this is what's been happening for years. Maybe not this open, but something like this has been happening. Stuff like this has been happening for years, where they feel like they can just mock conservatives, whether through their tone, whether through just actual examples that they use, or just by presenting liberal opinion as objective fact. And that's not true at all. And maybe some of that's not their fault because they're just really indoctrinated. But I fear a lot of it is. And from what I've experienced, a lot of it is. So, folks, just continue combating in the classroom. Once again, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to answer any questions for you, make a video on a question or on a statement, anything that your professor made, I'll be glad to do that. Just send me over a comment on one of my videos or on Twitter or anything like that. So thank you so much, folks. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I will be back soon. My name is Wyatt, and the Cult Conservative.